Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. My today's talk is for the students of ADE second semester, and the title of the course is Communication Skill, and our today's topic is self-directed learning. This topic has greatest importance in education system. This topic is not commonly discussed in the class by the teachers. I am going to discuss some of the very basic questions of self-directed learning. The very first question is, what is self-directed learning? What are the benefits of self-directed learning? And if self-directed learning is ignored, how it is going to give harm to our students? Okay. What kind of loss will it give to our students when this topic is totally ignored and avoided? Let me say a line which is directly linked with self-directed learning. Line is, yesterday I was taught and today I learned. Now let us explain this line. That in previous time, in olden time, teacher used to handle the class by showing his dominance in the class. Teacher give a big talk in the class and students used to listen him silently. Students had little chance to ask a question. They used to listen silently like a dumb spectators. But today's scenario of education is totally different. As I said, yesterday I was taught, today I learned. Yesterday means in olden time, teacher was the only person who took the responsibility of teaching his students. But today's education system is quite different. Students want to involve into the study themselves. They must be given a chance to play the role of learning themselves. As the term self-directed learning is concerned, it itself says that students are confident enough to take the responsibility of learning themselves. They are courageous enough to initiate their learning in the class as well as outside the class. We have made our education very confined to the schools only. We think that education is given at home, in the schools only. But education is not given in the schools, but a student can educate himself at home. This will start only then when teachers are going to aware themselves about self-directed learning, and they are going to give the importance of self-directed learning to their students. Here in self-directed learning, teacher is not going to design the activities in the class, but he leaves it upon his students to choose their activities themselves. Students are going to own their learning. Students select the activities themselves, where they can feel a lot of fun, where they are going to show their desire to do the activities. If activities are imposed by the teachers, like the traditional classes or like the olden time, then the students will definitely will not have a charm in doing those activities. Okay, so teacher must understand the importance of self-directed learning, and he should give a chance to the student to select the activities himself. There's no harm in it. Okay, and in self-directed learning, students develop their confidence. Students show their potential of involving into the activities. They are going to arrive at the conclusion. They are giving little instructions where they are needed. Okay, psychologists say that children's mind are designed in a way that they educate themselves. So why we are going to impose, why teachers of today's teachers are going to impose the activities in the class? Why they are going to choose the activities for the students all the time? Why don't they allow students to select activities and they should do those activities themselves? Teacher's role here is as a facilitator. Teacher's role here is as a guide. Teacher is going to monitor how students are doing, and he is going to remove the confusion only where they feel confusion. Okay, teacher's role here is not going to answer all the questions. Teacher's role here is not going to give all the information to the students. but he is providing them such an opportunity where they are going to digging out the information. Okay, teacher's role is very much specific in self-directed learning. Students are playing their role. They have a greater role in self-directed learning. Okay, as I have already said that students enjoy those activities where they choose their activities themselves. Okay, they have a role to play. They have a major role to play. What we think in our education system that our education means it takes place in the class only, and it is guided and monitored, and instructions are given by teacher, but this is not the case. Same, if you are going to teach the importance of self-directed learning to your students, the students will not only select the activities in the school only, but they are going to monitor their studies themselves at home. Students when come back home, self-directed learning means they are confident enough, they are courageous enough, they are brave enough to open the book themselves, to go through the material themselves, and to see, to reflect what they have learned or what they need to go through again. I am going to quote one example of self-directed learning at home. Suppose if you have told your students the importance of self-directed learning, what students will do when students comes back home. Suppose teacher has taught him reading in the class, okay, our teacher is going to give a big talk in the class, our teacher is going to conduct the class and give lecture to the student. The students are making notes, the students listen to the lecture, or students have a little bit reading practice in the class, he reads a lesson. That student who knows the importance of self-directed learning comes back home, now he reflects that what has he learned. He is going to see his potential. He is going to see that where is he lacking, okay, regarding his confidence, regarding his motivation, regarding his writing skill, okay, regarding his reading skill. Okay, self-directed learning tells us that when to study, how to study, and where to study. Okay, suppose he is at home and he needs to study, he should open the book and go through the material. This is when to study. What to study? If I discuss this question, suppose a student thinks that his reading practice in the class was poor, so he is going to read at home again. He thinks that he could not answer some of the questions in the class by the teacher, then he go through the same material at home and try to answer the questions which were asked to him by the teacher in the class. Why? Because he is reflecting his skills. He is looking at his potential. He is looking at his confidence. In this way, self-directed learning prepares the students to take the responsibility of his learning himself. He owns his learning. And my first line in self-directed learning is, yesterday we were taught, today I learned. What I learned means? I learned means I have taken the responsibility of learning myself. I own my learning. I can prepare myself. I can improve my potential confidence. I can improve whatever I am lacking at. Okay, so self-directed learning has a greater importance in teaching and learning environment. Okay, we must not distort the definition of education, that education only takes place in the class. Okay, and it is given by the teacher. No, but self-directed learning says that students can learn himself in the class. He can increase his potential. He has his own unique way of learning. He should select his activities himself. As I have quoted the one point said by psychologists, that children's mind are designed to select their activities themselves, and their minds are designed to educate themselves. If our teachers, today's teachers, who are in service or who are pre-service, not giving the opportunity of the students of self-directed learning, and they are not going to educate students about self-directed learning, then definitely we are lagging behind in today's era, where a lot of world is working on self-directed learning. Okay, and what do we mean by education? Education means the sum of learning, means whatever you have learned. Okay, you learned it yourself and you are passing satisfying life and meaningful life. But what will be the condition of the class where students are imposed the activities by the teacher? they will not be satisfied. They will not pass meaningful life. They would not be sociable anymore in the class. Why? Because teacher is going to impose his activities for the student. Why? Because students could not get a chance to select their activities themselves. There would not be a great fun in learning, in teaching and learning process. So I request my today's teachers, as well as I give lecture to my students, that learn the importance of self-directed learning. Take the responsibility of learning themselves. You can do a great job. You can reflect your learning at home. How to go through your material, how to improve some of the skills which you feel you are lacking at. So I think that you have understood about the importance of self-directed learning, and you know the role of teacher and students in self-directed learning differs. Teacher in self-directed learning just guides. He doesn't impose the activities upon the students. He doesn't force them to do this or that. Students select their activities themselves, and students' role is to involve in it. Students feel pleasure. Students feel a lot of happiness because they have chosen the activities of their choice. They are free to do what they like. And their potential will definitely increase. So hope my students and my teachers understand the importance of self-directed learning. What is self-directed learning? Why it is necessary to educate our students and teachers about self-directed learning. If you have any question regarding self-directed learning, write me in written. I will answer your questions. Thank you very much. Till the next lecture.